Aloha y'all, Daniel Aaron here, your guide to vibrant living, and it is the holiday season. I prefer to call it the Holy Daze season, HOLYDAZE, and here at the Art of Vibrant Living HQ, we got us a strategy for how to not to deal with this season, not to struggle through it, which I know is popular, and I'm not putting it down in any way. It's very understandable. Right? A lot of people sort of shut down and go into, let me just get through this time, which, if you think about it, it's kind of crazy, right? Because holiday, right? You know the song by Madonna, right? It's meant to be something that we celebrate, something that we are joyous about. Yet for so many people, it's just a stressful time. Or maybe not just a stressful time, yet stress is included in it, right? For some people, it's like shopping, dealing with family, got to clean the house, got to make the food. And no, not for everybody, especially though for y'all, if you, and well, wait, there's one more. There's what happens for some of us is, hey, I don't have family, or I don't have the success, or I don't have the money I want to buy the presents I want, or I'm not where I think I should be. Right? That's something that is a disease that can plague any of us anytime, though it's often extra prevalent at the holiday time. So it is a daze for us if we are moving through this time like a ghost in a machine, like an automaton, following the programs of, hey, this is the season, this is what you're supposed to do, right? So my invitation to you is to create a different daze, a different trance for yourself, condition yourself, program yourself to experience these days, D-A-Y-S, this season differently, right? And of course, you can apply this to other seasons, other times in your life. Now, holy, H-O-L-Y, as opposed to holiday, what I mean by that is, what would happen if you approach this season in the holy trance, as in seeing everything as holy, seeing everything as whole, seeing yourself as whole, right? The way, stay with me, I'm going to jump far afield for a moment. Back when I was a young lad, first endeavoring into the yoga world, training a lot, obsessive specifically about the asana and the positions, there's this thing in yoga called mula bandha. You have to say it like that, mula bandha, right? Mula bandha, sometimes called the root lock, it's the the retaining of energy at the base of the pelvis in order to direct it up, because energy tends to leak out through the pelvic region in various ways. I'm not going to go into that in depth right now. Just bear with me though. And one of the ways we first come to understand Mula Bandha is it's a squeezing of the musculature around the pelvis, the genital muscles, the anus muscles, all of that. Squeezing of those, kind of like Kegels, if you know what that is. And the idea being that, one, you stop the energy from leaking out, and two, you direct it upward through the sushumna, the spinal column, the energetic channel, right, in order to bring energy up toward higher centers, toward awakening, cosmic consciousness, toward compassion and oneness. Now, this is something of an advanced part of the yoga world. And for a lot of us in the beginning, it's like, I don't get it. How do we do it? And so, yeah, the simple level, the gross level, the entry level for most of us is squeeze the muscles. You just squeeze like crazy. And somehow, if you do all that, you're probably going to get to that region. You're probably going to start to understand it. That's like level 1 access. One of our most advanced teachers at the time, a guy named Pattabhi Jois, the founder of Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, he phrased it differently, right? He put it as, actually, no, let me retract that. He was famous for saying, contact Uranus, right? The planet. But no, what he meant was contract, his English wasn't so good, contract your anus. That's the squeezing. And yes, that's the physical one. Another of our teachers, Sri Brahmananda Sarasvati, who wrote the Psychology of Yoga, amazing, more esoteric yoga teacher, he put it as direct your eyes toward God. Talking about the same thing. Mula Bandha is that your focus is on spirit. And what it teaches us, and I'm still learning about this, mind you, is that we can move that energy from our base, which is really about me, mine, my own survival, my needs, what I want, move it from there up to here, which is about spirit, the divine, us, cosmic consciousness. So when you're, and then one more piece to tie in because it's so fun, Ram Dass, great spiritual teacher, said later when he had this profound moment with his teacher, Neem Karoli Baba, one of the things that Neem Karoli Baba said in the midst of a moment where Ram Dass was afraid he'd given his teacher too much acid and his teacher was going to blow up. His teacher did all this kind of fake freaking out and then came back and said to Ram Dass, when your eyes are on God, nothing else matters. And part of the lesson that both of these teachings bring to us and that we can bring to this Holy Days season is, let's remember the true purpose, why we're here, what we want to create, who we want to be, what we want to bring to the season. Because we don't have to be automatons. We don't have to follow the script, right? We don't have to prepare this thing. We don't have to buy this thing. We don't have to go there. One of the most brilliant teachings I learned years ago was from a poem called The Invitation, written by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And it's a beautiful poem. I'll just say one line right now, the one that bopped me in the head, punched me in the gut when I was in my early 20s. And the line is, what I want to know is, are you willing to be true to yourself even if it means disappointing another? Right? Like, whoa, what is that? Like, that also was not part of my upbringing. We didn't do that kind of thing. No, you did what you're supposed to do for others. So that line shook me to the foundations. And so that's my parting offering for you as you move through these holy days. What if you made this time one that is joyous, celebratory, where everywhere you go, you are a gift of spirit? And what if you do that by being authentically yourself, being true to yourself? What would that bring to everybody else? All right, y'all. I hope that's useful. If so, please pass it along. Share, like, subscribe. Let's create more vibrancy in the world and through this season. Aloha.